Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
I'm a sweet boy.
I'll let a girl suck any part of me. I mean, honestly.
It's just in my mouth, just.
Oh, like, I'll try anything once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except getting to work on time.
You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Oh, let's get the feet involved.
It's not a nut. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud with you.
Some people
Yeah.
are absolutely
Uh-huh.
disgusted by me.
He ain't lying.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 261. I am B.
Chic.
I'm Ryan.
And on today's show, we talk about my ever-changing medication
Yeah.
side effects.
One of the worst things that can happen to a human
Yeah,
being.
it's not great.
It's currently
And
happening to you.
It's happening right now.
You got to tease it. You got to make. What
as
is
we
this
speak.
happening? What is happening?
It's not good. I'm not loving life.
Talk about.
I'm back from Jamaica.
Talk about your
My
Jamaica
trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then what were we
exciting.
talking about right in the beginning before your cancer? Wasn't there something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll just
A
have to
whole
tune in
long
to find
conver-
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see right now.
Yeah.
Comedy related. Yeah. Talked about my awkward high school lunch table situation.
Yes,
I love that.
Awkward
I love
lunch
that
table.
story.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a fun one.
This
Yeah.
is fun. It was good, and I feel like we haven't seen each other in a couple weeks.
Yeah, this was
With
good
Chic
to
being
get
away.
back.
It was good to get back. I'm glad we got it in this week too.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for my up and down schedule this past week.
That's all right.
You know,
I ended up
and I
not seeing
apologize.
Barbie anyway, so.
I meant to ask you that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into that next
I'll
week.
watch it before next episode. I'm going to watch Barbie. I'll
And
come
I'm
back
going to
with a
change
full
my
review.
picks.
All right. All right. Enjoy the show.
Gah. Gah?
Oh, I might do the Niagara Falls, Canada one because I want to go to Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel.
And I heard if you go to Niagara Falls, you got to do the Canada side. It's much better.
Canada side, yeah.
Yeah.
So, me too. Yeah.
You've been there?
No, I was on the New York side, but I didn't do the. But I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that you got to do the Canada side.
He's going to Atlantic City.
We're in Atlantic City.
Doesn't say.
We can do a
Borgata?
adult babies trip to go see Matt Rife.
Yeah.
Like a couple of ladies.
I would like to go back to Atlantic City. I'm not a
Ovation
gambler.
Hall at Ocean Casino Resort.
I don't know that. Oh, is that the place that was Revel, and then it turned into
Maybe.
You're not a gambler. No, me neither. I work really hard for my money.
Yeah,
And,
it's too much. Like I'll do like little sports, like I'll do fantasy football and stuff, but I don't really consider that. But yeah, I'm not like
But that's like you're you have control over that. It's like
Yeah.
it's fun playing that. It's not just hoping that you beat the casino, which you're not going to do in the
also
long
I don't know cards very well. I wish I did. I wish I knew it, but I don't.
Rain Man nearly bankrupted a casino, and he was a retard.
Was that part? I didn't say that movie either. Was that part of that movie?
Hangover? Yeah.
Hangover? Oh, I thought. you talking
Well,
about
that's a
Rain-
quote from
I thought
Hangover.
he was talking about Rain Man.
So that's a quote from Hangover about
oh,
Rain Man.
oh.
He didn't nearly bankrupt the casino, but he won a shit ton of money
Did
in
he?
the
Okay.
casino. Yeah.
What was that?
I saw Rain Man many years ago.
What was that other-
Hangover? I don't remember.
Yeah.
So
I
Tom,
didn't see, I didn't
do
see
you,
Han-
you've never seen
I
Rain
didn't see
Man at all?
I didn't ever saw Rain
So
Man. no.
basically, Tom Cruise is his brother, and he's trying to take care of him, and he takes him from this home that he's supposed to be in. and
Yeah.
he takes him on the road, and he starts realizing how much of like a whiz he is with things, and he takes him to a casino to try and make a shit ton of money.
Okay.
And they
And they do.
do.
They win a lot of money, and
Me and
they're
Chic
wearing the
won a bunch
matching
of money.
suits.
Yeah.
at a casino.
We never told him that
Yeah.
story. That is a
Yeah.
great story, and that was both of our personalities to a T. Because I wanted to keep going.
So I went to Vegas a couple years ago, comedy trip, and stayed at this awful place. We at the Stratosphere.
Yeah.
It was just they have one comedy club there. It was just awful. Neil Rubenstein was there with me too. Neil, so Chick has this idea that before we go, what was the name of the game? Blackjack. Roulette. So
Scares me. That intimidates me. Roulette.
it doesn't seem like it's a safe
That
bet at
and
all.
craps are like, there's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of people who seem like they get pretty hyped up about this.
Yeah.
Craps, I don't understand. Roulette's pretty simple. Craps, you need to learn how to play.
I think I know how to play roulette.
Yeah,
Just,
roulette's
the
simple, but-
environment of it seems intense.
Oh, yeah, it is.
All the gambling, even blackjack. To me, it's like I heard like if you fuck up a blackjack, table, people will get mad at you.
I tell people all the time, if you're not a card player, you don't gamble, don't sit at a blackjack table, because if you sit behind someone, you could directly lose somebody, win or lose somebody money.
Yeah.
And I've watched his brother-in-law. So we go down to this table in AC once, and I'm telling him, like, specifically the last seat, the last guy before the dealer is an important seat in blackjack, because anything that you hit or don't take goes to the dealer. So there's like rules that you should abide by. Your brother-in-law's an idiot. I ask him before you sit there. He knows it. And he's like,
My brother-in-law is fantastic. Don't listen to this guy.
I love him to death. He's one of my favorite people in the world, but he's an idiot. He's like an idiot savant because he is smart with certain things. But anyway, he sits down at this last seat, and I tell him, like, Robert, don't sit there unless you know what you're doing. No, I'm good. Within, I don't know, 20 minutes, he lost me a couple hands from doing that, and he cost this one guy a lot of money. And this guy was pissed.
Really?
And I was like, dude, why you tell, like,
Now,
you know.
If you're counting cards, I can see that being a problem, but it really is. He's just as likely to make people money as he is lose them money. By
Yeah,
his
that's what
stupid-
I was
No,
thinking.
it's not, though.
It's all
So
luck
what
of the
did-
draw.
No.
What did he do wrong?
Okay.
What is that front person?
Just I'll do for argument's sake. If you have if you are showing like a 4 or a 5 and the deal or like you have a 2 or whatever and you have like a 12 and the dealer's showing anything from a 2, a 3, a 4 or a 5 or even a 6, they have to hit. So with blackjack, the percentages of them dropping a face card, which is a 10, it's in that favor. So you assume you have to stay and let the dealer draw because he's going to get the 10. So if you hit and say you get a 10, right, and then you bust, now the dealer hits and gets a small card, everyone gets mad at you because you took the dealer's 10 that would have busted and the whole table would have won.
But that's what I'm saying. You're just that you're not counting cards, so you're just as likely to hit and get the smaller number and then give him the 10. You're just likely to give him the 10 and you want to take his 10. Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Unless you're
There's
counting
more of those in the deck. It's like it's a percentage thing.
I don't know. It's still very
There's
confusing.
people who play blackjack and who know like just by certain rules and you could win money. Like
I'm sure.
listen, I'm no card shark either, so like
I'm sure you know what you're saying with this.
right.
Because I have honestly it doesn't. It sounds like it could go either way, but
because
I have no
in
idea.
theory it could go either way, but the percentages are in your favor when you follow these
Just
rules.
hearing you explain that like had my head kind of spinning. So
Well, because if you don't play a lot, it is something that's a little confusing.
yeah.
But
Anyway, Ryan, we we go up to Vegas. So I go up to Vegas, and Chick has this idea. He's gonna give me money. You were gonna give me money, right?
I gave you money.
He gave me money, and what was it? If we win, he's gonna give. It's roulette. If I win, he's gonna let me keep the money you gave me, or the money that we
I
won.
said we were going to split it right down the middle.
No,
I
something
said
else.
as long as you put it, I want my money back, and we split the winning.
Okay, all right. So, that,
I gave him. I think it
that's
was
right.
$25. So everything over the 25 that I got, get my money back, and then everything over that we split down the middle.
Mm-hmm. So I get to the casino that I'm performing at, and it was all like digital stuff. And I'm there the last night, and Neil wants to go out to like Fogo de Chao, and I'm like, I have to early flight. I'm like, I don't need to ingest like 18 different type of meats. So I'm like, me and Chick have this thing where he's giving me money. I'm gonna go use it on roulette. Neil looks at me, he goes, sucker's bet, don't do it. And I'm like, what if I just it's not my money, I just sit right there. He's like, definitely don't do it here. Don't with the electron. He's like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Neil.
I was like, all right, I'm taking his money and I'm going out. I went to the Venetian, nice place. It was it's one of the big hotels out there.
Yeah.
And sat down, had a drink at like this bar there. It was like beautiful. I watched a little show, and then I was so nervous. Like I was in touch with Chick the entire time.
when he was calling me, I was dying because I have no nerves with this at all. But he was like, "What do I do? Where do I stand?
Well-
how are they gonna know I want to put my bet?" And I was like, "Dude,
It's adorable.
you just go there, you put money on the table, they'll give you the chips, and then you're literally just putting it on a number. I'll tell you what to do. It's simple."
He's also like told me as he says this now, he's also told me you got it, like his whole rules of gambling where like I can't go up and mess somebody else up or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he gave me that whole thing too. So that's already in my head. I'm like, so what do I don't want, because you did tell me I messed somebody up. I said something bad at the table apparently. But anyway, I go to the table, he's going to give me the numbers. And whatever it was,
I remember what
he knows the numbers.
It was 25 on. My goal was, let's go black and red because it's like a 49% chance of each. It's really a 50-50. Pick one color. If we hit that, then I'm going for the number. So we put all the 25 on, I think it was black, and he hit. And he comes back and he's like, "We hit." He was
Well, we won like a decent amount in the
not on
beginning.
the first one. It was the second one.
Was it the second one? I went to the bathroom to call him. Like I was so it felt like I got
the first
away with
bet.
something. I got away with something. Dude, I'm telling you, I was shaking. Like that's how like that's how out of this scene I am.
Yeah.
I was shaking. And then he goes, "All right, what you gonna do now?" And his like nephews are crawling over him and he's just giving me like the like it was
Oh, that's right. I was home.
he was out with the family. He's all right. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna put 13. I remember 13 because it was my birthday.
Oh yeah, we did. We changed the number.
Yeah, and
Then we put all of our winnings on a number. So if you hit, I said, we're going to, so I got my 25 back. So now that's it. I said, if we hit this, we split. And I think it's 25-1 if I'm correct on a number. And we nailed it.
the guy actually goes, "Wow," when I won, and we won how much?
We probably won a couple $100 each.
Wow.
No, I had like
We won a decent, it was 25-1 on a $25 bet, I think.
it was almost $800 that I had in my
Oh, that's
pocket.
right. It was
a
I'll
lot.
tell you right now, 25.
Yeah,
We won 625.
625. I think you had 625.
No, we split it. I got my 25 back and we split it.
Okay. Well, whatever it was, you gave me more than $25.
I gave you 25 to make the original bet.
Oh, okay.
It was a small bet.
So it was
trying
a
to go
small
big.
bet. Man, it felt weird. But then
So you just told Neil like, yeah,
I told him the next
made-
night.
yeah.
This is like the week he broke his ankle, so it was like I told him months later. It was coming back from that trip. But he wanted to continue going.
That's
I told
the
him, I
problem.
said, put half of it away that we won't touch.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. And I'm like, B, I'm not there. So my whole thinking was, my bad choices, like now I have a responsible person doing this for me.
Yeah.
So I told him, put half away. Now, if I put half away, it's not really away.
Yeah.
Because if I lose the other half, it's coming right out.
You got to mail it home.
Yeah,
In order to
exactly.
get it.
With him, I was like, B, you just keep half away. We'll split
Yeah.
that no matter what.
That's hilarious.
And let's ride the handle. Let's ride it. Let's see how out we get.
You guys might be the perfect
The
combination
perfect.
of.
We are the perfect
But
duo.
he wound up not
I
doing it.
refused,
He
but-
refused it. I was at this point now, I'm mad at him because we got two hands in a row and we just hit a number. Now you could start putting small amounts on all different numbers, and if you hit another number, you
Yeah.
cake up.
Or you can walk home with $700.
Exactly. Yeah. Listen,
But
that's
Ryan. It was like being in the mind of somebody that thinks
Yeah.
that way, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I never heard him
Yeah.
this irate with me,
I was pissed.
and he's been pissed at me before. But like this, like he could not fathom the fact that I was like, "I'm putting it in my pocket." First of all, how do I get this money? What do I do with this chips? I had no idea how to do that.
That's so funny.
I'm like
yeah.
going up to like the wrong places. Like,
Do you feel like now you feel more comfortable going to a casino if you want to
no,
place a bet?
this is like right after. This is 2020. So that's the last time I touched anything gambling. I would if I'm in a place to go back where I'm in Vegas again.
Yeah.
I would do that same thing with him, and we'd probably lose.
Yeah.
no,
but-
we wouldn't. That's your problem.
Do you
You're gonna
bet
win.
sports and stuff? Are you a big?
I
big
used to
gambler?
be an absolute degenerate.
He
gambler.
doesn't he look like a degenerate though?
Yeah, that-
like
I
he
was
has
an
the
absolute
look.
degenerate. Lost lots of money gambling, and then I stopped for a while. And now occasionally, I will maybe bet, but more of a fight than anything. Like I'm a fight guy now. So like I won't bet sports because they're on too much. It's just too much. I don't have much control.
Yeah.
So now I'll just bet like if there's a fight here and there, I'll throw 20, $25 on a fight.
You feel like you do have control over that.
Yes.
Over a fight.
Well, I think it's so dangerous now. Like, I've tried to get on like the sports betting apps. I'm like, all right, let me. When I watch, I'm a big sports fan, so I'm watching the game, and I'm like, all right, maybe I'll. And it would never be big stuff. I'm like, $10 here, $20, something small. But it's almost like it won't allow me. My bank can't. It's a whole thing.
I had the same thing. I think 2 Super Bowls ago, the MGM
Yes.
app.
Yes.
So like, if you put in $50, you get like it was like $20 gift certificate to somewhere. I'm like, oh, that
Yes.
seems like, and I was interested in betting money anyway. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get $20 to spend somewhere, and I'll throw around $50 for fun.
Yeah.
But the same thing. I couldn't place a bet.
It would not allow.
I'm like, this thing knows that.
When
I
I
don't
feel
know,
like when
I don't know
you're
what I'm doing.
degenerate, you just like it's always just so it works out. So like this is easy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why is my bank? It's like your bank doesn't support this.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Well, is there another option? And then it's like, put your credit card. Your credit card does not support this.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay. Well, all right. I'm done. Now I hear it's like you can use Venmo or PayPal.
Yeah.
Well,
It's still not working for me. It's this whole thing. I don't know.
and that's how I know I have control over it now because it's easier for me to gamble now than it ever was, and I don't do it anymore. I just it's really only like a
It's
fight.
dangerous, man. It's like
It's for me.
you know,
It's really dangerous.
I know. A good friend of mine. He's got a gambling addiction. You know, now he sells bets.
Yeah.
So he sells.
I worked at
he
that
sells
was my
picks.
first job in high school. I used to
sells
work
picks.
for a place that
that's
sells
right.
picks.
A lot of people work there.
But mine was
His
old
numbers
school.
are pretty good. Yeah.
Mine was where we actually would call people and like degenerate gamblers in the West, Southwest, and out
Ruin
on the West
people's
Coast.
lives.
Basically, yeah, that's what I mean. The salesmen were doing. I was just a little kid answering phones and like running credit cards and stuff. But and then I was the verification company. Like so, I would run. B would sell you on a pick, and you'd give him $100 for the bet. Then I would bill your credit card, and then I would call you up like, "Oh, I'm calling from so-and-so credit card company."
Oh my god.
It was like it was crazy.
It's crazy. It runs deep, all that stuff.
And that's where it started because I was doing this in 9th, 10th grade. You know, like I worked there throughout high school, the beginning of college, and I just started gambling, and it was a disaster for me.
Yeah.
But that was also, see, now you have to put credit card, you have to put money up first. So it's, yeah, you could get in a lot of trouble, but you can't bet more than you have. When I was betting in
You
like
have a
those
credit card. You don't have that money if you're putting a credit card.
Well,
in.
yeah, I would only use I don't have a high limit anyway, but he's still like, for me, I can't really bet as much as when I had like an actual bookie where I was betting on a website, but you're paying every week. It's like fucking Monopoly money.
They're laying it out for you.
It's not, you have it's like at the end of the week, they'll tell you your number. And then you could call them like, oh, I need extra money. I need more money in there and then before you know it, it's like
Did you ever get,
payday comes. Oh,
you ever run in with collectors like coming out?
I kind of knew the guy I was collecting, so it was never a run-in like you'd see in a thing. But yeah, there was high numbers that got to where it was like, yeah. But never like threatened. No, nothing like that. I never got threatened by like a guy who was here to collect. But I've owed a lot of money to some people.
All right.
Thank God for those days.
I'm glad they're done.
That would probably when I think about it.
Should I start recording now?
Wait, none of that was recording. Oh,
By the way, I want to get into Chic went on vacation. I want to get into that.
Yeah, we have.
But
the way he's
before-
dressed, we have to. Yeah.
Before we start, I want to give you guys a quick update on my medication stuff that I'm taking. So things have turned. It's still working great, but side effects have seeped into my life. So it started last Thursday. I had Frosted Flakes for breakfast. Now, one thing I love about the Frosted Flake is it's got like that sugary on top. It's nice and sweet.
it's amazing.
It's
My
such a
favorite
great
cereal.
I love it.
I used to eat that and put extra sugar on.
Did you?
I used to sit with a bowl of Frosted Flakes and then a little bowl of sugar. And like as I ate, I would just add more sugar to that thing.
I mean, that's so good, but it's so
Pile
gross.
them
I have a sugar problem.
Pile
Yeah,
'em up.
so okay.
Looks like we're looking at sugar right now with all that snow.
I
on the
know.
side. So anyway, I go out. I take this. I get the like the little small thing. I'm at work. I'm training a guy, so I can't like freak out publicly. So I open my box, and I'm a dry cereal guy too. I don't put milk in there. So
What?
Yeah.
That's gross, but all right.
So I eat cereal. I get like the little stuff, but like the little the convenience
the kid
store, right?
packages,
And I
yeah.
just sort of like I'm eating like
A
I
snack,
don't know.
like a chips.
Yeah, chips. That's
I mean, I can see that with certain things. Lucky Charms, I can see doing that.
oh
with.
yeah, Lucky
Frosted
Charms.
Flakes? No, it seems like
No, Frosted
like-
Flakes.
Are you do you like your Frosted Flakes crunchy or soft?
I like a little crunch to them. Yeah.
I think they're
It's like-
good. They're
I can
great
do it
crunch.
either way. There's times where if I'm in the mood, I'll let them like sog up a little, but there's times where I like it crunchy and I won't put as much milk
I
in.
can't believe I never bought. So Sky Miles used to have. They used to advertise the cereal bowl that you put. They had two different. Had a bowl with your milk, and then had like a little bowl with your cereal. And you could, as you wanted to eat it, you could like scoop as much cereal down into the bowl you wanted, and like so all of your cereal wasn't just sitting
That's
in
a
the
good
milk,
idea.
and you could like eat it. As
That
you
catch
can make
on?
it.
Is that like?
I've never seen it anywhere else. I've only seen. I only saw it in the Sky Miles, and I was like,
Okay.
I almost bought it.
That's a
but-
pretty good idea.
It is a great idea.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I'm not a milk guy, so I like. That's why. Like, I just don't.
Truth be told,
Milk is just not part of my diet
Interesting.
in any way, unless it's ice cream, I guess. Or
have you ever
whatever.
thought about water? I mean, that's gross
No,
to me, but have you ever thought about it?
Because I love the dry cereal. I just like the like the way it is.
Why complicate this?
Yeah, it's what I like.
Why complicate it?
So I go and I take like a little handful of it, you know, and
I do training, so somebody's watching you do this.
yeah, he was.
Did you have to preface this by like, I'm gonna try cereal?
No,
I'm a dry cereal
here's the thing about that.
I'm not
I
really a milk guy.
to me it's not weird at all. This is the way I've always done it.
Okay, it is.
So like yeah, now hearing you guys, he probably thought I was a little crazy. So I take the bite. It's like I'm eating Chex Mix or something. Like there's no sweetness. So I'm like, I must have got a bad batch. And I could see the white sugar on it.
You thought maybe you got cornflakes.
That's what it was. It tastes like cornflakes. I'm like,
Chex Mix. I was like, Chex Mix is pretty good.
yeah. Chex Mix has like a honey.
It's salty.
Yeah, it's got like a honey
salty,
glaze
it's
to
salty,
it.
though.
Or
Yeah.
salty, yeah.
Did well. So I'm like, it's weird. Not picking up anything. Next day, then I get lunch. I'm like, something's off. It all clicks. They told me that there's a chance that I might have told you guys. One of the side effects is I'm gonna taste like everything's gonna taste like metal. Okay. Now I focused on metal. I'm gonna be tasting metal. They're like, you can't eat stuff with you have to use plastic knives and forks because it could taste more like metal. So I'm like, that sounds awful. But they also said you could lose taste. Guys, my taste disappeared.
Is it still gone?
It'll be gone the whole year.
Oh, so
year.
it's gone.
I'm gone. I'm gone, baby.
Let me ask you a question. Now, is this a good time to eat healthier and things
This
that you
is-
don't
this is
like?
what I'm
because you don't
doing.
It's
taste
go time.
Now,
anything?
let me tell you something. This is what I'm dealing with. I already am dealing with like some nauseousness throughout the day, and I literally cut my eating in half because I'm just not hungry.
Told you, got to eat.
I know. Remember this is early when I still had a taste. I forgot to eat.
And I yelled at him.
So now I'm forcing myself to eat, but I'm getting nothing. Nothing. The best I could describe it is, you know when you
You
order.
smell the food.
Yeah, I smell.
Okay.
I stink.
That's
No.
interesting to me that you could smell it and not taste it.
Because that's a big part of taste. is
Yeah,
like-
Exactly.
yeah. No, I could smell it all day.
All day, man.
But I
Wow.
It's
so they
so
said it
weird.
will last as long as you're taking the medication?
it'll stop about a month after. A month after. So now I'm trying to eat something. I
That's
had like
rough,
crackers.
man.
It's so weird. But here's my problem. Like now I'm like not eating because I'm not very hungry, and when I eat, it's not. Oh, what I was gonna say, what I best describe it as is if you order a Coke and they give you Diet Coke. It's like I could still. There's a hint, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
That's kind of. But that was the way I was feeling on Friday. It's sort of going down every day.
Wow. Yeah. I
So
guess-
today I'm barely eating. So I had like a little piece of like a chicken wrap. Like I had like a half of it and nothing. and I got to like towards the end of the day, and I felt like almost dizzy. I felt like I had low blood
Malnourished.
sugar.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what I mean?
malnourished. You didn't have it. You don't know.
Yeah.
Gotta eat.
Yeah,
I told it. I yelled at him, and he got mad at me for telling him. I said, "Dude, you have to force yourself to eat.
Well, this is a different story because now. So
Smoke pot.
here's what is that gonna do?
It helps you, dude. They give people who have cancer pot sometimes to help build their appetite.
Well,
that's not a
is
crazy
this thing
thing.
keep
I'm
falling lower on me, or am I
Maybe.
crazy?
It might. Yeah. It's shoddy equipment.
It's leaning on my chest.
saying. Mine's always perfect.
No, it's not. Yours is perfect, but you're not always perfect. We're always moving your head.
Yeah, you're fine, B.
So
It's the cancer.
I want to make sure.
The side effect brings his.
Listen,
depth
I don't know. I
perception
can't
off.
taste anything. Am I eating it?
Am I biting this? Am I eating
Everything
it?
literally tastes like this microphone foam. That's what it is. So here's what really freaked me out today. I can hold it. Here's what really freaked me out today. I got like a little. I felt like it was like I needed sugar. I'm not a sugar guy, but like I'm talking about like the
That's the
frosted
third
flake.
one. That's the third one so
I know.
far already.
So anyway, I go into I'm like I need to get like a banana or something, or an apple. I go to like a Sunoco that has no fruits, so I get I go to the next best thing. I get a Sour Patch Kids for a little sugar intake. I put it in my mouth. Now, if you know anything about Sour Patch Kids, first they're sweet, then they're sour.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting either one of those flavors. I wasn't getting nothing.
Right.
Dude, I was licking Sour Patch Kids. I'm like,
That's
there's
bad.
nothing.
That's
There's
good,
nothing.
though.
It is, but
but
it's,
not-
dude. It's,
No, I
Not,
know.
not if he's gonna keep eating this
Yeah,
shit.
no,
like,
I know,
use
that's
this-
true. out.
Use this as an opportunity to be like, this is the worst.
it really freaks you out. No, it's all right.
No, it's not alright. We got it.
Well,
Maybe
what I
shouldn't
want to
have
know
been
is
holding it.
so.
Yeah, tell me if you have questions.
Yeah, no.
Get
My
off.
thing is, so you can smell it, you can't, but like,
Okay.
I feel like, and I know the eating is hard because you have no appetite, but to me, you should utilize this time to eat foods that you don't normally like that are healthy.
100%.
And just like start going like a crazy diet, like a nutritionist diet, because you don't taste anything anyway.
That's the
So
plan.
you can get a lot of vitamins, I feel like, and fruits and veggies and shit that you don't normally eat.
That is 100% the plan. I'm just gonna eat, but you still crave like good food,
Sure, you're gonna crave it, but
crave
enough time's gonna go by where you're not gonna taste
Where
it.
I'm not.
What
This-
am I bothering doing?
This is the first
for?
weekend, and I'm like,
I literally just sat on a walk. I went on a hike last week, and somehow the topic of not being able to taste anything, I'm like, I would kill myself.
it's depressing.
So would I.
It's
If you told
really
me for the rest
depressing.
of my life I wouldn't taste anything, I'm like, there's no point in me living.
Yeah.
I feel like I could use that for a year.
For dieting reasons.
Yeah, I don't know, just strictly for dieting to whip my ass in shape. And then
I
don't
am
know.
big on textures of things. Though. Like I like the texture of certain things, regardless of the taste. So I'm like, I'd probably end up eating a ton of Tootsie Rolls because I like the texture of them. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't taste it, but I like the way it feels.
Yeah. Well, I did like the way the gummy. I only had 5 of the Sour Patch Kids. I didn't
Yeah.
finish it, but like I like it was. I'm still in that stage now where I'm like, wow, this is weird. I can't. You do have like stronger taste towards certain things, but like even like the Sour Patch Kids, I'm like, oh, this is weird. It's just like a chewy gummy with nothing, but like a slight hint of like yellow or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, man, it's really weird. But I am
That's
totally
unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's
That's rough.
depressing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh God.
You got to meal prep now.
all
Just
the
maybe force you
holidays.
to eat.
Well, yeah.
So
it's-
like it's like, oh, all right, I have to,
you're
Just
focusing
even if
more on
it's-
the forcing to eat. That's not terrible. Like I'm okay
I just feel
eating.
bad you're gonna get malnourished. I feel like
No,
that
I
could
won't
be
be
bad,
malnourished.
though.
The benefit is what you do. Just you eat the same thing every day. If it doesn't matter, just buy a bunch of stuff in bulk and be like, you just have this for breakfast and you have that
Yeah.
for lunch.
That's what I'm
And then-
saying, is like
and then
routine it.
just yeah.
That's what the plan is. My problem is I'm out on the road all day, so
Yes, I
like
was-
you know
yeah, I
I'm
do
gonna
the same
just
thing.
I just got to figure out like an easy, healthy thing where I could just this is what I do.
Carry around fruits.
Do you deliver places that offer you food? Or
Some
mostly-
places, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's rough when you're trying to diet and people
Yeah.
offer you food.
Because they're probably good as
good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, I delivered delis. Oh, I want an egg sandwich. And I'm like, that's the only thing I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, thanks. I'm good.
I worked at a deli for a year or so, and it was awesome and awful at the same time. I was just like,
Yeah.
every day I would make myself an egg sandwich, but I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta.
Hungry man.
Yeah.
I used to work in I used to deliver pizzas. I got fatter than I've ever been delivering
Yeah.
pizzas because I'd be like, yeah, one slice for the road. And it'd be like every time you hit the road, you can't. Yeah, I ate two pies today, but I just broke it up in 8 hours.
By the way, before we move on from this, one other thing I am worried about is the fact that now, like, I will probably I'll go a year without like tasting, and maybe I'll lose some pounds, which will be nice. But then when I'm off it and that taste starts coming back,
you're gonna hit it
I
hard.
feel like I'm just gonna be like a raccoon in a dumpster, just eating everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah. So we'll see. I couldn't wait. I didn't want to text you. Well, Chick's been away, but I was like, I've been trying to like it's such a weird. I want to tell everybody I see. I'm like I'm not tasting anything. But like it's also like who do you reach out to?
But a lot of people dealt with that with COVID. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of people lost their taste, and I was always like, some people lasted pretty long, and I was like, that's the one thing I don't want COVID for, man. That's the only thing I was scared about.
I
getting
get
COVID.
it, yeah.
I was like, please don't take my taste. It's all I have.
It's all you have, man.
Yeah.
I have one friend that's like, you got to take a COVID test. I'm like, okay, this is what they told me.
Right.
I'm a month and a half in.
you're good.
They
Idiot
literally
told you that.
don't even get me started. But this idiot, and I know this idiot's listening, just refuses to understand that this is a medication side effect
Yeah.
that I was
Yeah,
expecting
anonymous
and waiting.
idiot.
Yeah, but love
Drop
you, idiot.
it.
Yeah, we love you, but you're an idiot.
Yeah,
Because you know who
yeah.
it is. but the fact that he's listening, we love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But you know what? Like, so you said things taste like metal. You know what that made me think of? You know what's like a pet peeve of mine? Did you ever drink out of a glass that has like it like cleans, but there's like or a glass that's been sitting. There's always that like odd smell, and I find it in glass when I'm drinking water.
In glass. Yeah, old glasses. I find it in.
Can I? It's like
used
a
to
huge
find
pet
it.
peeve of mine because when I see somebody like that's why I don't like taking glasses from people if they offer you a drink in a glass. I'd almost rather like a solo cup,
I know exactly the taste that you're talking of.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It sounds like the problem is an old sponge that's getting used.
But like
on these glasses.
could
I noticed
be.
it a lot at the resort that I was just at. Like
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
cups, it's just to me, it's like a glass. I think it's like a glass thing, unless it's I don't know.
I drink out of glasses almost exclusively.
Do you?
Yeah.
And you never have that. They are like
No, but maybe it's because I'm just used to
Maybe
it. That's
yeah.
that's what I associate the taste of water. Well, when I'm at work, I drink out of a bottle, so not exclusively. But here,
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt. These things are coming at me like a lot.
Yeah.
The water was fine on Thursday. The last 2 days, water tastes like sweat.
that's not
so you don't taste anything, but water tastes like sweat.
Yeah.
No, there's like a taste with.
Do you think that's like that metal thing that they're talking
I
about?
don't know. There's like a
Yeah, maybe.
saltiness almost to it, and it's weird. But other drinks, I haven't really tasted anything different, and I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna say like, how do you know what sweat tastes like? But I guess we've all tasted.
You know,
sweat.
you just
yeah,
on
it just runs down.
Listen,
you
I
just-
was
man.
I was an athlete.
salty is
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
It was
just
a
the salt.
It was
yeah.
salty, but I like my water. Like I usually don't mind room temperature water, but now room temperature water tastes
Sweatier.
like
The
I'm.
warm-
I'm
You need cold water.
Yeah.
cold water, get that sweat
huh.
taste out.
It's
of
like
there.
they wrung out Patrick Ewing's towel and put it in
my
my
You don't have
cup.
to wring. You don't have to wring that out. You just
No,
hold. up,
you just hold it
You
up.
just hold up Patrick Ewing's towel.
But the colder it is, the better it is. But yeah, all right.
The hardest working person in the NBA was the mop up guy during Patrick Ewing. During Patrick
after foul
Ewing's.
shots?
Yeah.
And they were children too. Like that
Yeah.
that goes against child labor laws to sweep up Ewing sweat.
They had to hire
That's
extra
a lot.
sweat sweepers
Oh
during
my
those years.
god.
So
Let's get to
Yeah,
it.
baby.
this guy,
So I
Yeah.
fucking had a great time in Jamaica.
Yeah, he's wearing
Yeah.
the Bob Marley tee.
I'm
Marley
in
tee,
complete
the hat.
island mode right now. I wish I didn't come
Showed
back.
up a half hour late to pick me
Yeah,
up.
bro, I'm on Jamaica living time right now.
Bob Marley tunes the whole way here.
so who all went?
So it
It
was
was
me.
a group of people.
Yeah,
that went.
so it was me and 14 couples And they're all close friends. It's not like, there's anybody we didn't
14
really know.
couples. How do you orchestrate 14
This
couples?
was a year and a half in the making.
You got to plan out that far.
We
in
have
advance.
one guy who was like my buddy D'Amico.
Wow.
Hats off. He's the fucking man, and he orchestrated it
All inclusive place.
All inclusive.
Yeah, you got to do that with that many people.
Yeah, with that many people, you need all inclusive because then it gets really hectic. But yeah, 14 couples, 3 single guys, and one guy's dad.
No single women.
No single women.
Golly.
And no
Who's
women
the dad
at this
there?
resort at all. Mr. Gaff.
Oh, nice. Okay.
My
No
buddies,
women or no single women at the resort? Because most people go there coupled up.
This was like a couples resort, it seemed like. Because there wasn't, there's one group of girls that we saw maybe halfway through the trip, and, they were hanging out off the resort, though. They said they were going out to, clubs we were basically just ruining the resort for
bound.
every other
Yeah, that's what you
guest.
don't want. You get a couple showing up wanting a nice getaway, and you show up with a group of
Fucking
14 couples,
drug
3
addicts
single guys, and a
drunks.
dad. It's a
They
lot.
just take over because now it's just like you can't even speak up. They're making noise, but what am I gonna do? Tell these 50 people to not have a good
And
time?
it's not like we can't even do it if we wanted to.
Yeah.
It's like we got a lot of people. It's just but I will say we didn't have one complaint from any guests to us. We were loud, but we were pretty good. We had no issues as far as that goes.
That's
but
good.
Jamaica is just the best. So one, I traveled with 3 couples to get there. We all took different flights, and then I traveled with another couple on the way back. And all I gotta say is my friends are nuts when they travel. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, traveling wise. I'm a fucking asshole every day of the year, but once I get vacation mode, that's it. Nothing worries me. I don't get stressed out by flying. I don't like flying. I get anxiety, but I don't sleep the night before so I could pass out on the plane.
Oh, is that your move?
So I also don't check bags because I don't want to have to deal with that shit.
But you were away for a decent
So I got 2 bags. I got one big bag that I carry on in my
Oh,
backpack.
I hate that move.
You're that guy.
I hate that move.
Not a big bag. It's a duffel bag,
How
I guess
hard is it?
if you're on a resort, what do you really need? You need a couple
Bathing
pairs of
suits.
shorts.
That's true.
I wasn't
Yeah.
packing. If I had to bring sweatshirts because I'm going, I would have maybe.
Yeah,
checked.
I'm always I need a couple of nice shirts. If I'm gonna go out to eat
I had
somewhere.
3 nice shirts
Yeah.
folded, and the rest was just shorts, bathing suits, tank tops. It was
Remember
an
when
easy
we
bag.
berated Chris for going away with just a backpack and not checking a bag?
But that was just a backpack.
That's true.
If I'm not mistaken, it was just a backpack.
I kind of feel like bringing 2 bags that you're just bringing that on the flight. It's like you're just causing a lot of. You're
But
taking
it's
up a
one
lot of
bag
space.
that goes right in the thing, and the other one's by my feet.
All right.
I'm really only holding one because one's on my back.
Did something just fall from the sky?
I feel like one bag and a backpack is fine to bring on a plane.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't that long. I guess it was. Was it a?
I
Five-
left on
5
Friday.
nights?
I came home Wednesday night.
Yeah, so that's.
So
not
I mean,
that
it really, it's not even a full week. So it's really only
Yeah,
4
and
or 5
it is
days.
true when you're in the resort like that, you're not.
We had to bring. I brought
I mean,
one
he
pair
wears
of pants,
one pair of shorts the whole summer, so.
but I had a new bathing suit for every day. But I try and clean it up.
Nice.
But so my buddy had to wait, and me and my other friend were waiting for them because me and him were taking bags on, and my buddy is loud guy in a line. Things would take they shut one line down because the things weren't rotating, whatever. So now he's just cursing up a storm, and everybody around him's people are laughing, but I'm dying. I don't mind it because one, it's not my issue right now. Worst comes to worst, I could shoot on and go through security and just get on if
Right.
it's really an issue. But they wind up telling somebody, tells the lady at the front, "Oh, why don't you just butt fuck me now?"
He said that?
Said that out loud.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, you're a sick bastard. This is how my day starts.
So do you think he's like this because people, friends around? He's like,
No.
shutting-
He's just he's a pretty much of a hothead. I love him. He's pretty he's calmed down a lot, but he has his moments, and he just have no problem voicing his opinion. So we finally get on the plane. We get there. We're 5 minutes off the plane, and people offering us weed all over the place. I loved it.
At the airport.
At the airport. My buddy got weed at the bar. I was going to get weed from one of the bus guys, but then the lady who was handling our car service told me not to get from that guy. She said, they're going to rip you off. Get it from the car guy. So I'm like, all right. Me, my buddy, and his wife get in the car. Now I'm talking to this guy, and I'm like, yo, what's going on with the ganja situation? He's like, what you need? So I told him how much. I was like, give me an ounce. He tells me the price. He pulls over. Literally, we're driving to the resort to a hut. with some rude boys hanging out like outside there, and just leaves us in the car. The girl I'm with, like my buddy's wife, is full panic mode, getting all nervous. And I'm like, dude, they left us in the car. My buddy's like, if worst comes to worst, I'm hopping in the driver's seat and we'll drive to the resort.
The keys are still in there.
The keys are in there. The car's running, doors shut. Like, if we really sense something coming on, we'll be the fuck out.
That's right.
But the guy, the lady told me to get it from him, so I wasn't really.
And these guys are
nervous.
pros.
I mean, he's the car guy from the resort. So, like, I felt like there was a trust there that I had. But I'm also there for 10 minutes now, and I'm already at the hut.
He's already
weed.
trusting people at a hut.
But the guy came back, gave me my weed, and boom, we were off to the resort. I got weed delivered to me at the resort from one of the concierge guy brought it up to my room. Like, it was awesome.
Good weed, like comparatively to what you get around
So
here?
what I say is, it's better than any other island I've been to. Like, I've been to like Puerto Rico and Cancun, and it was better than those places, but it wasn't great. It was seeds, stems, it was like good regs. But it got you high and it tasted pretty good because they don't spray it down. There's no like pesticides and shit all over it. So it's fresh at that, if not
Well, that sounds nice. That's what I would like.
And my one
just
buddy
want
got
fresh.
lucky and got like good pot, like seedless pot. Like, I don't know how he got it, but my one buddy had fucking got a bunch of good pot. So we were fine there. I was smoking all week. It was fun. And like, so that was the other thing. I asked the guy, I'm like, are we allowed to smoke like around? Like, we have to be discreet about it? And the guy's like, no, man, you can smoke anywhere. He goes, just don't smoke inside. I'm like, all right. So we were smoking literally, if we were outside, we could smoke.
Nice.
So that was awesome. But
It's not. Is it legal? Is it just
so that's what I didn't even. It's legal, I think, but it's not fully legal. I think there's certain things you can get in trouble with it.
a certain amount?
Yeah, I don't know if it's
can't
amounts or you can't really sell it, but you're allowed to smoke it. Like, it's weird.
It's
funny
like
if-
a huge part of their culture.
Yeah,
it'd be
right?
funny
but it's
if,
a
like,
huge
it's-
part of the religious part of it. Like, the Rastafarian's like a religion. It's supposed to be like a spiritual thing where they all smoke so much pot. But
Yeah.
It'd be funny if it's more legal in New York than in Jamaica.
it is.
Like,
It's
Right.
It is more legal in New York
Yeah.
than it is in Jamaica.
Yeah.
That I know.
Well, I find it funny that he was like, yeah, the weed in Jamaica is okay. It's much better here. It's like, isn't Jamaica where it should be the best?
Yeah.
Because Jamaica's all grown outside. Any weed that you grow outside,
So it's
isn't
the
gonna
way-
be as good as something that's grown inside under
yeah.
perfect conditions. Everything's regulated. Like, you could do more with it when it's indoor.
Yeah.
But this stuff, it was good though. I'm not gonna act like I smoke a ton of weed here, you know that, and like I was getting high off it. So I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Good.
But I didn't sleep. You know how I did Jamaica.
By the way, you're looking at your phone like you have notes.
I just wrote some things that I wanted to touch on.
Because he wanted to get this episode in this week in case he forgot it all.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to do it fresh, otherwise it's out.
Even with the notes, he would be like,
Yeah.
he's like, what does this mean?
Do you remember in Vegas when I went there and I slept on the outside thing?
Yes.
So
I
I was
on a balcony or something crazy, right?
Yeah, that was all. I was kind of slumming at that trip. But this one, my buddy, we had a room. I could have slept in the bed. Like, I was fine. But they had these really comfortable day beds outside. And, like, I would just go outside at, like, my recap every night and just smoke until I fall asleep.
That's what he does.
My buddy would, so I was getting woken up from all my friends all the time. They said every time they walked into, like, my back porch thing, they would see me passed out with, like, a joint, like, next to me or whatever. I burned my roommate's shoes. I dropped a cigarette that I fell asleep smoking on his sandals, and it, like, burned the center of his sandals. I can't help it. No matter where I go, I burn something.
Do you think you could get this under control where you're just constantly dropping cigarettes?
My problem is I get so high, I just smoke till I pass out, and then it just drops.
That does sound like an actual problem.
No,
It's
not
insane.
Well, I was in Jamaica, bro. Just island living. Island
Yeah, all
living.
right. You also live it on Long Island. This is island living here,
It's
too.
not like they're more prepared for the place to burn down, though. If somebody
Yeah.
drops something, it's like, oh, well, it's Jamaica. Occasionally, people smoke weed and the whole resort burns down.
That's what I said.
can
But
you
if
do?
this place ever goes down, it's going down under my watch right now.
And how could we ever make it funny if, God forbid, you drop a cigarette and light yourself up one day?
Because it's kind of comical if that's the way I go.
Yeah, it wouldn't be comical to your family, though. You know?
Yeah.
But the one thing that you get, so with the room, you got a free hydrotherapy treatment. Has any of you guys ever did that?
Is this like the colon
No, 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 no.
Hydrotherapy
So
treatment.
this is a hot and cold water like treatments where you go into different like stations and they do different types of water pressure on the body and like in pools and all tips, but it's hot and cold. They keep on switching it up on you.
On the body.
I don't know what else to say. I don't know how else to
Very
describe
scientific.
it.
They,
So, like,
they
you
spray
start off in-
water on you.
But they do like all different pressures and they like so one of them you walk into like a sauna, you start off in a sauna. Then you go into like these two different shower things.
I like how you
sauna,
pronounce
sauna.
it twice within those.
I know I was, So then they put you in like the shower thing where it's like the water's coming from the top and then the side walls and they just switch in like hot and cold water. You do a couple different showers of that. Then you walk down this little, they have like all these rocks on the thing and it's supposed to open up your pores on your feet. Dude, I didn't think this thing was going to be great. I went in there like hungover, headache. I walked out of this place feeling like a fucking $1,000,000. But you walk over these rocks and like, so like you start on one, it's like a 10-foot stretch of like rocks and you have to walk over and then the water comes out the side, it's cold. Then when that water stops, you walk to the next part and it's hot water and then they keep, everything's hot,
This actually
cold.
sounds very nice.
It's awesome.
It also seems like a scam, but it sounds nice.
Yeah, but if you feel good afterwards,
Dude,
it
I
doesn't matter.
had a
It's worth
headache and fucking felt like shit going in there and I'm telling you, I would do it every day.
Have
if it
you
was that
have you
easy.
looked up to see if they offer it locally anywhere?
No, I have not yet. It's actually a good
we
idea.
should-
I
we
didn't even
should do
think
that.
about that.
Because I would
then
like to try this
The
out.
best part of it, well, not the best part. We had people in there looking at me and my buddy going at it. We literally had all the workers around us laughing and in shock because we started. I'll get to that. The next thing is a hot and cold pool. You walk down these stairs into like a fucking hot ass pool. You dunk. You walk out of it, and then you go down into like a freezing cold pool.
I don't like
and
that. I
dunk.
feel like that's too much of a shock to the
I
system.
thought it was going to be too, and I was like almost rushing to get back out of the cold. And then I was like, oh, wait, like it fucking felt great. Like, it really did. And I don't like cold water like that. So then we get to the pool. I'll get to the fun part. So they have these things shooting out like these spouts, but it's like hard pressure. And it's basically massaging you. Now you're in a room temperature pool. And this water, I don't remember if it was cold or hot. But they're like, you move around in it, try and get your whole body going. My lower back has been hurting, as you guys have mentioned that. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get to my lower back? And I'm trying to get on my tippy toes. Like, I could get this thing everywhere, but where I really wanted it. Great idea comes in my head. I lay down on my stomach, face underwater, and I grip my feet onto the side of the pool. So now I'm fully like Supermaning in this pool with my face in the water, letting this thing just crush my whole lower back. Like the spout. And dude, it feels great.
Wait, but I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, I don't
which
understand
direction
that.
is the water coming from?
The water's coming from up top. So picture a spout on the side of the pool coming out like a pole.
Yeah, so why couldn't you get it like?
Because it's coming where it's hitting. I'm short. The water's up to my, at least probably my belly button. So the water, I couldn't get my lower back. The thing wouldn't. I'm standing like this, and the water's hitting me here, but it's only like getting my upper back.
Okay. I
You
see
get what I'm
you're
saying? Like if you're under like a
Yeah.
So it's coming from up here, but he's not tall enough
for it to hit my lower back.
for
Nobody really is because
you
your
bend
water.
over. Like if you bend over and show your back, it's just.
I
it's too much
tried
distance there.
bending over. I was on my tippy toes. I couldn't do
Right,
it.
it's all in the
It
water.
seems like they need to change the spout.
Well, I don't know if it's really meant for the lower back per se.
Yeah, well,
They have other things that you're getting.
Sounds like it's not.
This
Could be
particular
dangerous,
one
yeah.
was the hardest one though, and I really wanted it. So now I got my feet on the ledge and I'm hanging off like this, Supermaning with my face under, just holding my breath as long as I
Yeah.
can while I'm
This
doing it.
guy.
And then I'm like coming up for air every
Go
so
back out.
often.
Just have a snorkel.
That's right, dude. If they had a snorkel, that would have been the best fucking thing.
you'd have been
ever.
there for 3 hours.
I would have never left. And I had my buddy doing it. Now we can't see anybody around us. So when you do this, there's different stations. So a bunch of us were in there. And my friends will leave. They're like, dude, you guys have no, like, they said that place was in complete awe. It's like they'd never seen anybody do that before. So me and my buddy, we got the two idiots sitting in the middle of the pool on our
So
stomach.
he saw you doing it, and he was like,
I told him, I'm
gonna
like,
try that.
dude, you got to do this. Like, I was like, bro, try this.
They're gonna
guy's
rework
an
the
innovator.
whole system. They're
Oh,
gonna like,
yeah,
we gotta.
it was one of the best things ever. And then we had to walk to the other side of the fucking resort because we wanted to do this beach thing. And my back was killing me by the time I walked across.
Didn't
So
last
everything
long.
I did, it fucked me up.
So now, other people, the way I'm picturing it is almost like a car wash.
Exactly.
People are like Like I see my friend
Yeah.
go through like a car wash.
I don't want to be seen going through any of this stuff.
Yeah, I feel like there's,
But certain things are private. You're in like a closed little area, but like when you're in that pool doing that, people from other stations can see you, and you end off with a hat, a lemon towel over your face. It was like fucking awesome.
lemon towel.
They exfoliate your face, like they give you this cream. Oh my god, it felt like
I was
fucking.
gonna say his face looks
Dude,
exfoliated.
I felt amazing. I'm rubbing this cream on me, like, dude, it was the best thing ever. And then you sit down and they give you like a temple massage before you're done. It was.
This was once you got one of these throughout.
You get one free. It's like $100, but you know, we took whatever they offer you for free. You get one for free, and then we did it.
That sounds nice.
Dude,
that sounds nice.
Anybody, if you ever see anything about a hydrotherapy treatment, do yourself a favor and get in it.
Interesting. Well, that's my sister works at a spa.
Does she? Yeah, ask
but
her about it.
Yeah, but it seems like you need quite a bit of room and a couple pools for something like
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could do some of the treatments without some of the other. Like, there's probably a way you could dumb it down where you don't need that much space, or do half of them or not.
A lot of spouts.
We made this place. This place ran out of alcohol 3 times with the fucking savage friends I had.
Really?
Like the Top Shelf, like Grey Goose and what, like they were done. Like they had to literally stop serving us Top Shelf for a couple hours each day to like get more. Drink like a bunch of fucking
Were you
animals.
drinking too?
I day drink. I don't night drink.
You day drink?
So I drink during the day and then I strictly smoke at night.
Oh God! If I day drank every night, I would like.
I
fall
can't
asleep
keep
at 8.
up. That's my issue. It's like if I drink all day and night, there's no way I'm keeping up.
Well, yeah, I could.
And I had 2 days where I didn't drink at all, really. Like I had a couple cocktails, but like not really.
And the alcohol is all included.
Everything. Drinks, food.
How's the food?
Food was fantastic. They had a
that's
jerk
good.
chicken hut that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They had this Asian restaurant that we went to, had these pork ribs that were fucking fantastic that I had. There was these jerk chicken spring rolls. The food really, I'm a picky eater, but I was like, I'm going to try some things. And I actually enjoyed it a lot.
Nice, man.
And then you ate all the other fat shit when you get room service, like, fucking pizzas and cheese.
You got a lot of room service.
Oh, we
that's,
were just ordering it all day long, basically.
Yeah.
That is fun. Like I've been on a couple cruises. I don't love the cruises, but I have been on a few, and it is nice. You just like go eat, man, go get something to eat.
Yeah, let's go get something to eat, right?
The all-inclusive thing is such a thrill.
Yeah.
Well,
They have like the cruises have like this the self-serve soft serve ice cream things.
Oh,
yes.
those are the best.
I got good at like making them tall. You see people making them like they think they have to like swirl to get it big, but it would get like this high and it would just like fall over. I'm like, no, the trick is you got to put pressure on it. Like you hold it close to the spout and then you let it go and then you keep putting pressure and that's how you make a little. You don't
'cause it fills in, right?
twirl.
And
You
it
just
kinda-
squeeze.
All right.
So I was just like making like big things and like so big, like I had to take like the bottom reservoir out. Like I took that out so I can get lower. Like so I had people like, oh, can you make one for me? So I'm like making people's ice cream like big cones.
I'm embarrassed to say I was the twirler.
No,
I just
'cause it
went
looks
there.
I'm a twirler too.
Because it
I'm
looks
not
like a
gonna lie, I
twirl
never
because
knew
it's
that.
got
looks
a
like that's
rim
what
on
you
it,
should
but-
do.
No, you squeeze.
Wow. Interesting.
That's a good tip.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
So I what I love about that all inclusive is I went on a cruise when I was a kid and a few times after, but that just as a kid being like, yeah, just grab a cheeseburger there and then an ice cream cone.
Yeah, there's a movie
and then
playing,
a cookie.
movie
And you don't have to
playing,
worry
go ahead.
about carrying money around.
Yeah.
Like you just bring small bills for tips and whatever, and that's really it.
I
Yeah,
think
there's a lot
if
of
I
times
had
you
a
can just tip at the end, like on a.
You
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
but sometimes you want to like tip. Like I would bring some money just to tip.
I think for like
Especially if you're
alcohol
drinking a lot.
beverages,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I
you
guess
should
so,
do
yeah.
that because they're making drinks. But
Yeah.
I think if I had a month left, I'd be like, I would say my goodbyes to friends and family, and then I'd go somewhere with all inclusive, and I just stuff up and just disappear. You know,
I'm actually not this. I every time I go to these islands and I just think about it, like we have our way of life here completely wrong.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Everything's like work.
Well, you're on vacation. Like you didn't leave
Oh,
the
trust
resort.
me,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I'm aware.
Outside of that resort is a bad situation.
Oh, listen, I get it. But I just mean like there's other islands you go to. I mean, you could literally get a job, not maybe bartender or something like that, just enough to get by and live fucking island life.
Yeah, but it's probably it's like you said, like Ryan said, it's like you're on vacation. It's probably not so great when like
I guess
like,
if
I'm
you
a
want to work, if
bartender.
you want to like live and work on the resort, bartended somewhere nearby, or like I have a friend who, bought a bar on an island somewhere, and like she just owned this bar, and like that's a cool life.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
you can't just, there's only specific places you can
Oh,
go to the island.
trust
You
me,
can't
yeah,
just,
no,
like,
and Jamaica wouldn't be the place I go to. I mean, maybe if I found a real nice place, but who
yeah, like
knows?
St. Thomas, places like that, you can kind of, you can find a little spot
Mm.
for yourself. But the key is the trick is work here really hard, make a little bit of money
And then
here,
take it with
and
you.
then take it there. Then you can coast. Like you can go,
Yeah.
like you can live in, what's the
Go to Serbia.
Costa Rica apparently is
Costa
like
Rica?
Costa Rica. You can get like 20 grand. You can just like live forever.
Oh yeah,
20
we're
grand in
thinking
Costa
about
Rica.
one of the next places because we were just tossing it around. That was an idea that got brought up, is getting a mansion in Costa Rica for a week.
That's nice. Yeah, but then you can't go to all inclusive. Then you got to go buy
Then
food.
you got to go
gotta
buy
do
it.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they do all inclusives in Costa Rica. I feel
That's
like
why
not
I
a
don't.
place
We
that-
didn't know if they did. There's only certain islands that do all inclusive.
Yeah.
All inclusive is a big. It's
awesome.
it's a big
The
help.
cool thing was, so like you do the day at the beach, and then like you have some time to kill, and we all go to somebody's room, and every room had a pool. Then somebody would just be like, all right, I'm going to order a shit ton of fucking pick me. You can just order food no matter
I
where you're
love
at. You
that.
never have to worry about it.
Every room had its own private pool. That's nice.
Wow, that's
a
That
real
is-
nice.
and we were all pretty much
that
down a
before.
line, so we would like pick a room and go hang out.
Yeah, I've
in
never
there
heard
for
of
a
that
little
before.
bit.
That sounds like a
Awesome.
good old.
You guys did
yeah.
it right.
We did it right.
You got a big group. You took over the place,
Yeah.
and you got rooms all next to each other.
And they gave us a
I
dinner.
commend you.
So the one night they gave us a dinner with all, because we knew we weren't going to be able to eat. So the best way to eat at night, to go to restaurants, was getting small numbers and kind of, do your own thing like that. But the first night we all got there, we didn't expect to eat together, but we kind of all went out together. And it was like a shit show trying to get places for us to eat.
What do you mean? Because it's just too big of a group.
Yeah, there's no place that's
Yeah.
sitting that. So they actually accommodated us and gave us basically closed down a restaurant for us. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they shut down the restaurant and just let us eat there one night.
Wow.
And we had a long table dinner with the 30 fucking 4 of us or whatever that
Look
were there.
at that, man. Living the life.
Which is awesome.
That's great.
And then
I don't have that many friends to do something like that, but if I did, that would be
It's
the
a
way
lot,
to go.
yeah.
And then because my one buddy had an issue with the room and they wound up having to pay out the ass to get like a suite room, they had like a wraparound suite on like the corner of one of the floors. And we had bar service, and they gave us a bartender for an hour or an hour and a half that night.
That's so nice.
So like the bartender came up to the room, and we all were in there, and it was fucking awesome.
what
It
were
was
the
just a
issues
great
with the
time.
room?
No, so what happened was somebody wasn't sure if they could make it, and they were booked it was a one-person room. When the other person decided they could make it, they wouldn't let them keep that room and just pay a little extra for a second person. They made them cancel that room. When they canceled that room, the only room that was left at our Excellence Club was this fucking suite, and they kind of muscled them to buy that one. It was kind of ridiculous, but whatever.
Yeah. Hey, listen. You guys got the suite. That's nice.
Yeah, no, so yeah, really no complaints with that. But it was a great time, and we want to do it again in probably like 2. It was like a year and a half of planning, though.
Yeah,
It
but
was
how
a
many
lot.
people you
Yeah,
gotta plan that far in
that's-
advance. People have to.
that's a
So,
big
some of these
thing.
people have kids. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
they all had. I mean, for the
So-
majority of them had. There
Yeah.
could have been more of us there, but some backed out because of babysitting issues.
Wow.
And that.
That's wild, man. It's wild that. So you know all these people like since school, probably.
I've
right?
known all these people since some elementary, middle, and high
So
school,
to stay
and we're close knit.
close,
Yeah,
with
it's
people
crazy.
like that is a task.
And the
in
wives all
itself.
get along. Like
That's
it's,
another-
It's like a.
So most of the guys were friends, and
all the guys are friends. All the wives are, like they're. I don't want to call them outsiders, but yeah, some of them are from Farmingdale still, and we
Yeah.
kind of grew up with them,
Right.
and some of them are not, and they fit right in. So
It's like it's great, and I love the idea of it, but also part of me is like nobody's gotten sick of each other at this point. Like
we do, but we're we're vocal. You know how we are.
Yeah.
We rip each other. Like we're almost so close where there's really no like everybody knows everything about each other. Like I don't know. It's
sweet.
It's a good
I
group.
always envy those group of friends. Like there were groups of friends in school that like I would like look on to be like, oh, that must be nice. Like they just seemed like, yeah, what are we gonna do this weekend? I had like two idiot friends that like I guess play
Yeah.
basketball during the day and Sega at night. That's like
Hey,
that
that's
was
it though. That's
that
all
was
you
our
really
lives.
need though. But I mean, yeah, listen,
That is all you need.
we're blessed to have the group that it is, but it's always about quality, not quantity.
I always feel like whatever. There's something about like the town we grew up
I
in.
think it's what it is.
There's like I've never met anybody else that like has that big group of friends that are that like wide and also different grades. It's like it's very weird.
Like my brother's group of friends is big and like that. You have a big
Yeah.
group.
Like I
we
said, I
all-
know like in the town I grew up in, they had that. I just wasn't a
Oh,
part
no.
of
Oh,
it. Like, there was very big groups of friends that still hang out. I'm like kind of associated with some of them. So like I'm friends with some on Facebook, Instagram, and I see them post pictures. I'm like, oh, these guys are still going skiing together, huh? That's so great.
Yeah.
Like, I missed out on that. But I just didn't have I didn't drink. I didn't have the personality to jump in. I had chances to like jump in. My sister was very popular, and she was friends with a lot of those kids, and I had friends who were like friends with them, and they would like bring me along. And I just never had the personality. I was a little shy.
Yeah.
And I didn't drink. So if I would have I had the opportunity to like
to get in, almost, yeah.
And they were like nice, like they weren't like assholes. They were like nice people. Like they were like they would
get out of here.
yeah, like they would
Yeah.
like talk to me and stuff like that. And I just felt like, this doesn't feel like me. So I came to the original. Eventually, I came to the conclusion, like I just never had that personality of like guy who's like, yeah, we're like big party guy. Right. So I'm like that's just not me. Like I wish that I could be that way, but I'm more of like a
homebody or
yeah,
to
like it's sort
yourself
of like
kind of guy.
me and two people going to a
yep.
coffee shop and having a quiet night.
Yeah,
it's like that fits my personality better. But
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing
I
wrong
told
with that.
I recently remembered a story that I told. So, I played baseball for years. And I was like I was good. I was like on the travel team, and I was friends with this one kid who went to another school, private school, and then we were all like going to merge together. Like this was going into I guess 7th grade, and then we were all going to merge and come to the same school. So I met up with this kid, Carmine. And he was like, "Yeah, sit with me during lunch." So I sat with him, but he was very popular. So he had this big group of kids.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting. So he's like, "Yeah, sit with me." So now I'm meeting all his friends for the first time that he came to this new school with, and they were all like way advanced than I was, and I was like they were like talking about sex, and it was like not even like a. Oh God! Yeah, I remember like the second day, like I heard a woman like use the word like one of these girls use the term cum rag, and I was like, I'm not cut out for this. But I sat at this lunch table like thinking I would become friends with these people. I never did. I never talked to anybody, but the whole year I sat at that lunch table, and like I never got like embraced
You were
by
just
people.
like the quiet guy.
Yeah,
there.
but they must have looked at me like, who the fuck is this kid who keeps comes into lunch and sits there every day?
Carmine invited
and,
me.
and like, but the whole year, he just kept coming back to this table, and like my actual friends sat at I could see them. Like the
Really?
kids I would like communicate with when I wasn't at lunch, I could have just go sat and like I would watch them like laughing, and I'm like kind of like, oh, that's why I should be over there just having a good time, and like I'm holding on to this like maybe I'm gonna be cool.
Yeah.
I just sort of like I should have got up one day like, listen guys, I'm never gonna be cool enough to be with you guys. I know it's been kind of weird. I've been sitting here for 3 months. My friends are right there. I've been holding up the seat for the whole year.
Let's quit these charades.
I don't even think you need to make it an announcement.
Yeah,
you
like,
could have just left, and they'd be like, I guess
that kid fine.
that other guy is
I kind of
gone,
kid
right?
got wised up, and I've always had a staring problem, so I know I would just stare at people. I would just be probably like eating, just like staring at like the hot girl I had a crush on, or like eavesdropping and listening to a conversation. I sometimes like once every 4 or 5 months I remember this, and I get kind of like chills, and I'm like. Oh, all year. All year I sat there. Oh, what was I doing?
What grade was this?
Yeah, I think it's 7th grade.
Seventh grade. Seventh is
That's a tough gauge.
That's a weird.
And
You kind of just don't know what the hell's going on. Seventh
Carmine
grade.
was always cool. Like he was never like, "Hey, buddy, listen, it's not working out.
Yes.
You gotta hit the
Killing
brakes."
me over here.
Yeah. And like my sister, I said she was friends with a lot of the kids that was, and I remember I used to do a bit of my act, and this never actually happened, but the feeling of it definitely happened. Where like a kid would grab me and like went to go give me a wedgie, and then somebody like, no, chill, that's Janice's brother. And I'm like, but the fact that he didn't give me a wedgie didn't like the damage was already done.
Yeah.
Like the physical wedgie didn't need to happen for it to affect me. Like, but you were going to do that. Like, you thought low of me enough. Like, yeah, I could just fuck with this
I'll
kid.
just give this kid a wedgie.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
Yeah, the fact that I'm Janice's brother doesn't make me feel better.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's the only thing that saved me.
Being Janice's brother got
my
you.
sneakers didn't save me. It was my association with somebody much cooler than me. That you know.
Do you think? So did you not talk at all? You just kind of listened.
No, I didn't. I could probably say like 3 times somebody would ask me a question, but probably because I was staring awkwardly at them. And they're like, I guess I should bring into this conversation. I have always had I literally just stare at people.
What do you mean you would stare at people?
I just like as I'm eating, like I'll just like Cheryl was talking. Like I've had people like my sisters like you're staring. And
Really?
I'll watch like an interaction with people, and I don't like. I feel like I'm invisible. I just stare at people. I'm just like so close
so
too,
funny.
like so close. So I know 100%. I have memories of just like watching interactions between people, and I'm just like watching them talk to each other, like from like across the table.
And you're just like you're
And
moving
I'm just
from
I'm, like eating, yeah.
like, he says something.
Like
you're
in a
looking over
tennis
there.
match where you see the head go.
Yeah.
Every conversation is a tennis match that you're watching.
I mean,
Wow.
it truly chills thinking about it now.
Oh, that's hysterical.
That's
Like,
great.
I don't want to like reach out to some of them and be like, I want to like talk
Do you
to
remember?
Do you guys remember when I sat by you and just stared at
them. Yeah.
everybody?
I mean, that was weird, right?
Do you think like now who you are now, you would be different in that situation?
Yeah, 100%. I was very shy, very, very
Yeah.
shy. And now I'm not like, I don't, yeah, I would love to.
Because
go
you would
back
probably be an asset to the group.
100%. Yeah.
Like knowing you, like I find you as like somebody. Oh, this is a guy where kind of I like to call it plug and play. Like you could plug him in anywhere.
Yeah.
And he could fit in
yeah,
any kind of
definitely.
group.
It came much later. So it came with getting jobs and being able to escape that and kind of like start over. So I would have friends at work. I used to have a job in a kitchen, and me and this guy had like we were just with each other all day. We were forced to be with each other all day, and we kind of just made each other laugh. So it's like, oh, this is what it's like to have a friend who, that I had friends when I was younger, but just kids I knew forever, and then I worked in a warehouse, and it was like a group of guys. I became
good place.
I became friends with a group of guys, and then I started feeling like, oh, this is what it's like. There's like 6 guys. Like we go out occasionally, we hang out,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm one of them, and we all have a good time, and I'm one of the funny guys. Like, you know what I mean?
There's
So it was
nothing
like,
better than a warehouse to like
I was
loosen
gonna
up
say,
your
warehouse is a good
personality.
group.
yeah, and that broke me, and like that made me. I think that made me funnier. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Warehouses are always full of funny guys.
And it's a different group. It's like usually down to earth people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stories.
Oh yeah, and like shit would happen the day before. Like I couldn't wait to come in and tell the guys
Yep.
that happened the day before, like embarrassing things. Like I would
Yeah.
come in with shit that I knew they'd make fun of because it would be funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and by the way, I was like the least funny out of anybody. Like those guys there,
they're
like,
always the funniest.
Were like the funniest people I've ever
Bill
met.
Burr like always talks about. He's like I'll never be as funny as the guys I worked in the warehouse with.
On his half hour, he talks about people working on a forklift and
Yep.
just like being able to drive away from
Just insane. It's I love that kind
Madness.
of work. I loved it. I don't know if I'd want to do it now, but like that was a time where I'm like, this is just it was great.
Because that's what you do on those jobs. Like when
Yeah.
you go into an office job, yeah, you can have your moments and things, but
Yeah, but
it's
you gotta-
not. You got to like be more on. You can't. It's not as vocal. It's not as.
It felt
vulgar.
it felt lawless at the time.
Yeah.
Like it
Yes.
was just. I mean, I have memories of just laughing like for 15 minutes, just like me and like 2 other guys just in one of the aisles, like leaning at things, can't even breathe because we're laughing so hard. Like they would like fuck with one of the guys, and just so great.
I still have stories, warehouse stories that I'm like, there's no like people wouldn't even believe some of the stuff that.
And it's always because you're in the back. Nobody knows it's like in a store
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking
Got me over a
warehouse.
breakup. Like my first breakup was rough, and I came in like I was all bummed, and they asked me like, what happened? I was like, she broke up with me, and she's, and like they were like sensitive at first, like a few minutes of sensitivity, and then we were talking like, yeah, man, she was like hanging out with like some fireman. I think she's like dating him. That's all it took.
That's it.
So it was like, just
And then
talking
it was-
about this
Yeah.
fireman, hosing
The
down
hose.
my ex, and that like I was laughing. By the end of the day, I was laughing.
That's
about
it.
And
That's
I
all
was
you
like,
could
and I
do.
was still sad intermittently throughout
Yeah,
it, but I
but-
was like, yeah, it's not as bad like as I thought.
Got
it
to
was
make
gonna
fun
be.
of things.
Yeah.
Those kind of guys are great to just break down a situation. Also listen and give great advice.
Yeah.
But then just
Yeah, because there was a bit
tear
of
it
that.
apart.
There was times like we would have conversations like, all right, this guy's like he's not an animal.
they
where
can
he
be
can't
serious. They
have
get
a
some
serious
good stuff
moment.
out of
him.
Yeah. One of the times I remember, it's just random things. But this one guy he saw like this couple walking together, and he would always look at my guy. He's like, he ain't hitting that right. And I was like, I'm like, you know what, Chris? I'm like, they're never hitting it right, are they? I'm like, in your eyes, like they're never hitting it right, and just constant ball busting.
Ball busting's the only way to do it. It's great.
Yeah.
it is. It's the only way I want to do it.
Yeah, and that's
know?
I've thought about reaching out to one of them. Like, let's do a podcast. Like, let's do it's
Invite the warehouse guys
But it's
on.
like, what am I going to try to like relive like
I
20,
know.
20 years ago? Of, like,
And they would be like, they'd all like go out after, be like, what the fuck?
no, like one guy is still just as much of a lunatic. It's like I see him every once in a while, and he's still like a loose cannon. He was the guy with the gambling problem.
Oh,
He's-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. We go to concerts and stuff together. So he's still like,
There you go.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we're over an hour in. Do you got
Oh,
any picks while you were away?
Oh, I got some picks, baby.
All right.
What was that?
I'm excited. He's got some picks,
I
baby.
got a good one.
I'm taking a long flight coming up, so I need some. I
Yeah,
need
when
some
do you
stuff to
go
download.
away?
Oh, that's right.
I leave Saturday.
Oh, nice.
This Saturday?
No, next Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, so
All
we
right,
can,
so
we
what's
can
our-
record next week.
Well, we'll
can
figure
record
that
next
after.
week. Yeah, yeah.
Brendan.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry.
So I just watched this movie last night, The Beanie Bubble, on
Yeah.
Apple TV about the
Yeah.
Beanie Baby.
Another one of these,
the
another
Beanie
one of these
Baby.
backstory movies.
Yeah, I couldn't get through this. I tried.
You didn't like it?
Nah, I thought it.
Did you watch it or no?
No.
I thought it was very
I'd rather
good.
talk about Ryan's flight plans, but go on, Thomas.
What didn't you like about it?
Well, again, like everything, the documentary I just saw, and it's like, all right, now we're gonna.
I never saw a documentary on it.
You sure it wasn't one of your picks? Yeah,
About
no.
the Beanie Babies? No, I never saw one.
Yeah, there was a Beanie Babies documentary that.
Maybe that's
that-
why,
that
because I
came
didn't
out.
see that.
And now it's like, all right, now I'm just rehashing exactly what I know.
Yeah,
don't
it's very common. It's the
Didn't
documentary and then the
Yeah,
and then
that
the
is
script,
common,
The
but
scripted thing.
Drives me
now.
nuts. We
It's
talk
like-
about it all the time on
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I don't mind them scripting it, though, and making it more of like a drama. I still find them entertaining.
The Beanie Bubble, is that what it's called?
The Beanie Bubble, yes.
Zach out. I like the cast.
I just thought it was interesting.
Was that Galifianakis was in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like I guess the main
He plays
character.
Ty Warner.
They
who's,
basically they show the Beanie Baby story through the eyes of basically of three women. Two of them were his wives, and one of them was a worker of his that had like major roles in the success of it. And it was basically through their eyes, and he's like the center asshole of the whole thing. Interesting story. I didn't watch the
It is-
doc, so
it
I
is-
didn't really know any of it.
What I think you need to come in 1 week with some stuff you don't like because it sounds like you just like most things. that
I've
you
been
watch.
telling him. I'm like the key to Chick's picks is you telling us shit
Well, I
that you
always
hate.
chicks picks of things that I like.
I know, but it's
but to give some value to the stuff you do like
You gotta stop bashing some others. All right.
not
We're not-
bashing, but just being like because maybe you just like everything you watch. Maybe like which is there's nothing wrong with that. Like
I get it. I don't, but I
Yeah.
get it because I never talk about the
well,
ones
this
I don't.
is this
Right.
is a thing that
Well,
we've
we
talked
tried
about.
to do something that like it was like rant, and it's like
You can't. Yeah, we can't just make him rant, but
Right.
it would be more. Well, that's why I make fun of Chick's picks all the time. Although I do follow it, like I'll go back and I'll watch it. But also the segment is when I usually check out of listening, just because it's.
well, you've heard it already.
It's that is true. But the segment of Chick's picks is you saying it was good.
So maybe it should be 2 picks and then one
One
one do not
one
watch.
do not
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
If it comes across you.
Oh, it comes
Don't
across.
force it,
This is
yeah.
something I watch every week. I don't like.
Yeah.
Well, I would definitely try to focus on at least
All right,
one.
what
of
else
those.
did you like?
That'd
What
be
else?
great.
What else is a pick?
Well, right now I'm only ready for picks this week. So the other one I watched actually today after work before I got here was Glitch, the rise and fall of the HQ trivia game.
Oh,
Do you guys remember HQ?
Another one of these backstory movies.
do you remember the
This
the
isn't a movie.
comedian?
This is an actual documentary on
Okay.
HBO.
All right.
I think there was a comedian that used to do it, right?
Yeah.
what-
Hosted it, yeah.
And he used to run a show that I tried to get on at some burlesque place. What was the guy's name?
There was a guy who was
The host.
his name was Scott. I forgot his last name.
Yeah.
He wasn't
didn't-
anybody. He
didn't
wasn't
last-
a comedian. He was
didn't
kind
last
of a
long.
comedian, but
Did they say the fall was it when they started saying you could buy your way back into the quiz?
the whole thing was, it was weird. They basically had a lot of glitches. There was no way to get your money. Like you had to make $20 to even cash out.
Oh, really?
And I don't know. You played it. It's impossible to get the $20.
I
'Cause
never,
even if
I
you
never, I don't think I
win,
ever won any money on it.
that's
but-
what I'm saying. And
yeah.
like even when you win, it was like a little bit. Plus the two guys hated each other who were running it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Doesn't help.
Like they didn't get along.
I remember being out to dinner one night and like everybody at the same time pulled out their phone and you could see like
Yeah,
everybody,
the HQ.
everybody was playing HQ.
I used to play it, not like religiously, but I would play
Yeah,
it.
it was Scott Rogowski. He's a
Scott
comedian.
They said he was a comedian, but he was like a nobody before. He got big because of HQ.
No, I saw him way before HQ.
Okay, but he wasn't. He was
yeah, he,
not famous
like
or
in the
making
comedy
any
scene.
money
In the
until-
comedy
Yeah.
scene, maybe. I don't think he was like
He was definitely doing spots around the city.
right, but you were
Again,
around the city doing spots. It's
That's
not like
true.
you're not talking about.
But like
Are
spots.
you
that
a
I couldn't-
household name right now? You're doing spots around the city.
No, he
He
was.
was not.
He was doing he was at the cellar. Like he was doing like bigger
right,
spots.
okay, right, yeah.
He was on his way. He wasn't in nobody.
But there's a lot of
Still
people at
had
the
an
cellar. that-
awful. If you talk to him, his life was going nowhere until he got onto HQ, and that
Yeah, it
really
makes
changed
sense.
things. I don't know what B's talking. B's big up in this guy more than he did himself before it, but he was like nothing until he got lucky and got this.
It went huge. Yeah.
And it got huge. And it got huge real quick, and then it fucking plopped real quick.
So how did it end?
What do you mean, how did it end?
So what happened?
Well, watch the documentary.
I have to watch the documentary, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, everybody gets mad. I try not to tell everything. But
I
these
know,
guys
but
hated
tell me
each other. There was a bunch of glitches and issues with it. It
Okay.
wasn't the most smoothly run thing. And then, yeah.
I feel like the Firefest docs really ignited this.
Oh, of like failing
failure.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, failures.
Yeah,
Also, another one where it had like multiple different documentaries, and it's like how many angles are we looking at the same story?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to do. I
Right.
had the Gladiators one that came out on Netflix.
That's another
That
one.
one is better than the ESPN one.
Okay, so that's what I've heard.
I will tell everybody, if you're gonna watch one of the two, watch the one on ESPN. It was on Netflix. It was significantly better than the one in ESPN.
because they go after
There's more people
They go to
are
each like,
interviewed.
person.
It's more detailed. It gets into a lot more that you care about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought the one on Netflix was much better.
All right,
But-
I thought the ESPN one wasn't.
But that's
great.
the problem. Somebody watches one. Are they going to watch the other? Like, if you don't have
That's-
that much, like, I watch everything.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're only somebody who watches maybe one thing a night and you already watched one, you're not going to watch the other.
yeah. I'm not watching multiple.
Exactly.
Gladiator,
I'm like, I
American
can't
Gladiator
know
documentaries.
this much about this, like the Beanie Babies thing. It's like I can't. I already watched this,
Mm-hmm.
and the documentary was literally from the three workers.
Yeah,
It's like, how much do we need to know about this? What is it? We can't figure this out.
Because it sells. People see the
People
doc.
love-
And
yeah.
they
But
like
it all comes out
dramas.
the same damn time.
Because that's what you do. You get it while you strike while the iron's
well,
hot.
yeah. One service here's another one's the other service is doing it, so they
You
try
sell
to
it
they
here,
try to
you
race
sell it
them.
there.
And then as far as the docs and the thing, if people see the doc, they always want to watch the show right after. You don't like it, but a lot of people like I enjoy
see
watching a
the-
doc
Yeah.
and then watching a drama series and see
Yeah,
how they do it.
I know. People do.
Some of them are very good. Some of them are awful.
By the way, I am watching a show on Apple TV called Hijack. I think is very good.
Everyone's telling me that. Can I tell you? I was all in it. I was like, I'm going to watch this. And then I saw it was a show and not a movie. And I was like, I'll watch it eventually. Like,
It's only 7 episodes.
No, I know, but it was just like I was hoping it was just a hijacking.
There's some big leaps and there's stuff where you got to be like, but I'm kind of enjoying it.
I don't mind those. I mean, listen, it's a TV. if everything was so realistic, some of the shit would be boring.
See, I'd rather television because I only watch.
You mentioned that.
I can only watch like an hour of television.
Yeah.
Like I'll do 2 episodes a night of something. I can't.
Yeah, no.
For me to dig into a movie like this list, I have to donate a night to it.
Well, yeah.
You know, but the chick could do like you could watch a movie and then like go on.
I'll watch a lot of TV tonight. Like I'll watch 4 hours of things probably when I get home. Easily.
Wow.
That's a lot.
I won't go to bed till
but,
3.
Yeah, I say that, but like I'll spend, not tonight because I have to work in the morning, but I spend 4 hours on the computer.
Yeah, he'll be looking at other things. It's just where you allocate your time to.
Yeah. And I can't multitask. I don't like to put things on in the background because I like to pay full attention to something when
too.
I'm watching
Yeah.
it. So I'll put it like a sitcom on that I've seen in the background maybe, but I won't, So I end up not watching a lot of stuff.
I could do like background stuff.
But the last thing I have is a good show that I think you'll like.
Okay.
It's called The Crowded Room. Did you hear about
Heard
it?
about it. I don't really know what it
Amanda
is.
Seyfried, who I love. I think she's gorgeous. And what's his name? Tom Holland was the main character. And she is a psychiatrist. He is on trial for attempted murder or just a shooting at somebody. But he's got like split personalities, multiple personalities. And they do it in a really cool way. It's a really good show. I would highly suggest it to anybody.
All right. Now that's a show?
That's a show.
Okay.
Tom Holland's great.
I don't know Tom Holland. I know the name.
He's Spider-Man. He's
Yeah, I feel like
him and
it's something I couldn't
Zendaya.
pick him out of a lineup.
Yeah.
But I've heard that name over and over.
Him and
Zendaya.
Zendaya, or Zendaya, what was her name? Was it Zendaya?
The one from Euphoria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and her were like they were in a Spider-Man together. There was like
Oh, and they got chemistry.
well, yeah. I always see things. I don't think they're dating or anything, but people
Oh.
are always talking about them.
By the way, I'm a Euphoria fan of that television show. And that guy, Angus Cloud.
know.
Yeah,
I
he
love
just
him.
died. I love that show.
I thought that guy
character,
was
too.
He was the best character.
Super
Yeah.
talented.
I texted my sister that when I found out, and I was like, I always used to be nervous that this character was going to die, let alone
Yes.
the actor. I feel like I'm heartbroken about this.
I
Like,
know.
I love that guy.
He
He was
really-
awesome. He was the best character in the show.
It really
He's like sweet, but like
affected me.
a tough, sweet guy.
Yes.
Sucker
Didn't
for
affect
sucker.
you.
If it affected me more than like a
More than just like a big name.
because I was
Yeah.
excited to see where he would go.
Exactly.
Like, he was just a young kid where you watch him, you're like, this guy is super talented.
Yeah.
And people loved him. He was like a pretty popular, like he was big.
Never
on that.
did anything before Euphoria. That was
Yeah.
his first thing, and I don't know. He had an interesting look. He had an interesting way of he was just very interesting. It sucks, sad,
And
but
yeah, now what are they going to do with the show? Like, did they film anything?
that's what I'm like.
I
What do
hope
they do
they
with
filmed enough where they could just kill him off.
But he's such a big character. Like,
Yeah, but he was a character that you could.
Yeah,
Did
if
he
you
could-
get shot at the end of the last one?
His
Yeah.
brother, his brother,
the brother
died. I think.
Ash.
Brother was the one who died. That's
Ashtray.
right.
The
Oh,
Ash little kid.
spoiler alert.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
ah.
listen. If you don't see that, it's been
If you
out-
haven't
it's been
seen
done
it,
for
you're
a
not
year
gonna.
now.
Yeah.
By the way, I thought I was the only one in this room that watched Euphoria. I have to. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of my
I've been
friends.
watching that since day one. It's one of my favorite shows.
It's like,
I
a young
think
girl, it's like a young girl's.
It is a
show.
young
Is
girl
it
show.
though? Why? Because they're young girls.
I think
and
that's just how that's how it looks because it's about young girls in
like
high
high
school.
school drug
but it
addicts.
deals with like
yeah, a
like-
lot of
I think it's one of the best shows on television now.
Yeah, I
one of
love
the
that.
best,
I thought it was
most
great.
well written shows.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
That song that the kid with the guitar played with that song's
the guy
excellent.
with the Apple TV tattoo.
Is that what that is?
Apple. Yeah, he's like
the
that.
Apple
tattoo.
logo.
Apple logo. Yeah.
I didn't know that was the Apple. Oh, yeah, I got that song. I'm all in
Yeah.
on it for you.
Yeah, man, that guy was great.
Yeah. So rest in peace to that guy and Pee Wee Herman too.
Are we celebrating Pee Wee
Herman?
Herman's life? I mean,
I
didn't
don't
he?
know. They both died on like the same day, right?
But didn't he? Isn't he the one who got caught jerking off in movie
He did.
theaters?
He sure
Yeah,
did.
and but you're gonna hold it against him.
You gonna
forever?
hold that against him?
I mean, people are canceling other people for less.
Well, first of all, was it a porn theater?
I think it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was.
No, that was the whole thing. If it was a porn theater, you could. I mean, not that
You're
you
not
can.
supposed to masturbate
But
in a porn
people
theater.
jerk off, and like it was
I
a
think it
normal
was-
theater. Was the
was
whole
it?
thing?
Yeah, I remember it as a porn theater, but yeah, I could be wrong.
I'll look that up eventually.
Maybe
I'll
he was
get back to you guys
watching,
on
you
that.
know, What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah.
And getting down with himself. The hell do I know?
I thought the whole to do was that he was doing it in a normal theater, jerking himself off.
I thought the whole to do was that he was Pee Wee Herman jerking off in a
Right.
porn theater.
Yeah. Yeah, that I never
With
cared.
his long hair, because then you didn't.
That's
you didn't,
when he looked like
yeah,
a
it's
creep
like,
too.
oh Jesus Christ! What happened to Pee Wee?
and was he being secretive about it? Like, I like to differentiate. Like, if is he like trying to show people, or is he being like trying to get away with it without anybody seeing it? 'Cause it's
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like that. There was another actor that was like trying to show people, right? Maybe Fred Willard like did it.
Fred Willard also. Yeah, that's right. Fred Willard did.
Fred
too.
Willard, baby.
And he was just like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Nah, I love Pee Wee Herman though.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
A movie. The Great Adventure
yeah.
one was the good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Great
one where he's got
Adventure?
everybody in the
Yeah.
Pee Wee's
basement
great.
when
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
questioning
Great.
everybody.
Yeah.
Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't. That's the best.
Yeah.
But Large Marge.
Large Marge. Yeah. It's great. Oh, it's like a part of my childhood. I
Yeah,
remember that stuff.
I did, but I just always looked at him as a creep after the whole jerk off.
Yeah, it's
thing.
hard to. But he had some roles in other stuff later
Yeah.
on
No,
that
he
was
came,
really
you
good.
know what? He came back. He was in what was
Blow.
the other movie?
He was in Blow.
Blow.
Boogie Nights. No, not Boogie Nights. It was
It was
Blow.
Blow, yeah.
That's right. He was the dealer. Who
He was
fucked him.
great in Blow, and I think he was in something else too.
He was the Weed Connect.
Yeah, perfect in that.
But
All
yeah,
right.
if you made it this far, guys.
We appreciate you all,
Yeah. Thanks.
and we'll see you next week.